I got in just in time. Hey, Seth Payne, former Houston Texan and NFL defensive lineman, played for 10 years. I am not a scout. I am not a draft analyst. I do not pretend to be, but I know a good amount of playing defensive line. And I love watching these guys like Byron Murphy and getting a feel for what they need to work on, what they're good at already. I kind of like try to look at it like I'm a defensive lineman, a veteran defensive lineman. My team drafts a rookie. This kid comes in and do I like him? Do I hate him? Do I wonder what the hell GM was thinking? That's not going to be the case with Byron Murphy. I like this kid a lot. The biggest knock against him is that he's 6 foot 1/2 inch officially. Now that's been at the combine, Aaron Donald, Ed Oliver, John Randall, Jerry Ball. There have been plenty of guys who are 6 foot tall and end up being really good NFL players. They just got to make up for the height somehow. Jerry Ball did it with extreme girth. John Randall did it with extreme athleticism, and everybody else falls somewhere in between. With Aaron Donald real close to John Randall, obviously, as a Hall of Fame type of dude. I think that if I were to compare Byron Murphy and give a comp, I see Ed Oliver a lot. The thing about Byron Murphy compared to Ed Oliver is that I think Byron Murphy is much more NFL ready from a technique standpoint. He's asked, I don't know if he's asked to do more than Ed Oliver, but in this specific scheme, this Texas scheme, he's not getting upfield and jetting into a gap. Like he's anchoring down versus the run. He's playing his responsibilities. And he does it really, really well for a guy who's, I don't want to say undersized. He's 300 pounds, but he's shorter. So he's got some disadvantages. And after the combine workout that he had yesterday, ran a 4.88 weighed in at 297. He showed really good athleticism for a guy that's 300 pounds. And I don't think he's going to be available when my Texans pick at 23. I think those dreams vanished up into the Indianapolis era, like so many dreams of a long Andrew Luck career or something. So I just want to take a look at first this Alabama game. And it's not a highlight reel whatsoever. So you see the good, the bad, and just sometimes the stuff that's not spectacular, but is really good. So here he's lined up in a 2-eye technique inside the guard. You see he's thick down the middle there. He's not trying to jet a gap or anything, but he does a really nice job on this play of watch when the guard pulls. He's immediately back on this back block from the center. And instead of throwing across, like a lot of guys right here would all of a sudden want to cross face and think, oh, the run's going to my right. I'm going to make this tackle. He stays right in his gap and then throws at the right moment. Just really good discipline and timing. Again, if another thing you're going to notice about him, and this can change on the next level, he's got a wide stance. Like that's a read and react, run stuffing. I'm ready for a double team type of stance. So he doesn't get a great get off here, but it keeps his hands moving through. That's a shed. Like he's got to keep his hands moving quickly to overcome his size disadvantage, and he does. He's got to be like a Tasmanian devil, just constantly moving, and he's got a really good sense of that. This would be head up, zero technique on the center, and you think, okay, is he two-gapping? If he's two-gapping, technically should be in the left here, but I think he read double team, and I don't know their responsibility, so it might be on number 0 to get front side on this, but you're going to see he's very conscious about double teams right here. 2-eye technique, wide stance. Sinks, drops the hip, and you think, oh, okay, well, he's going to create a pile at least, right? No. He's going to pop the F up and make the play. He's so strong. Jeez. Oh. Hesitate into a power. J.J. Watt's fond of doing this, or he was. R.I.P. J.J. Watt. And here's what I wonder about. Sometimes when you don't have the arm length and you try to do that hezzy and then hit the bull, if the guy's waiting for you, your size becomes a big disadvantage there. I don't know how much he's going to be able to work that move specifically in the NFL. Head up here on the center of the field. Okay, the hezzy worked out that time. You know what? All right, I take it all back. Fuck. I'm trying not to swear as much. You saw previously, he tried the hezzy, offensive lineman anticipated, stoned him, took the fight to him. This time, he does the hesitation. Center tries to jump him and just, yeah, okay. So, like, the answer to my question, if I were a veteran and this kid came out of my team, I'd love him. I would let him run out a room in my house. at a discount rate. I would tell them it's a discount. They're rookies. They don't know any better. Anchors the double team, pops up. Like, this is turning your weakness into a strength. He's 6', 1/2 inch, and he turns it into a strength. Because when you anchor a double team like that, it's not so easy to come back up off that knee and pop into a play. And he's done it 2 times in this game versus an Alabama offensive line. Hesitation. I thought maybe he was expecting a twist here from the other defensive tackle. But that constant motion that he needs. Actually, I've got Lance Zierlein's scouting report right here, and I think Lance pretty much usually sums this stuff up really well. Can be swallowed up by size if he doesn't keep it moving. And you see some instances of that in some of the other games where he's got to be a constant ball of energy, which he is. Game here. Sometimes, all right, now I'm going to get real persnickety here. If you're the guy that's looping on a game, you want to be sure that you hold this center until that penetrator number 95 gets through that gap. And one of the things you have to do that is to just keep really acting and selling hard like you're trying to rush that A gap to your right. And he kind of softens up a little bit. The center gets a clue. They still get good penetration, but there's a little nuance. There's a lot of NFL guys that don't get good at that, and it's frustrating. But you only have, like, college. You don't have time to learn all that stuff yet. Just bulldozes the dude. But again, that's the only time I really see his size act as a disadvantage is when he tries to go straight power. Boy, but that's nice, man. God, I really like this kid. Maybe there's a bunch of sizeists above the Texans. We need sizeists among the top 22, and he'll fall to the Texans. All right, so Byron Murphy, like, without projecting where he's going to go in the draft or anything, I think he's going to be at the very least a solid pro. He's just got power, explosiveness. He's got tenacity and relentlessness, and I think that's one thing. If you are 6', 1/2 inch, you got to have something special to you. Like I said, you can turn that size into an advantage. You can turn that disadvantage into an advantage, but only if you got certain things going for you to, like, utilize that natural leverage. One is just a relentlessness that allows you to keep spinning and to keep working your hands when other guys' hands are going to die because you just do not have that length advantage. And I think he's got all those elements. The biggest thing that I like by far is that he cares about being a complete player. So I think if you're a team that wants to take him, but, also needs him to anchor down versus the run, there's not a pure pass rusher that's going to be a liability for you versus the run. Like him. I like him. I approve of Byron Murphy, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't do this little thing until the combine was over and he's been yoinked from our grasp. Most likely, everybody loves it. Everybody likes to look at the combine and act like, well, that guy sealed it right there. There's nothing else to talk about or look at film over for the next 2 months. Bogus.